I'm Cammie McCormick.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Their charitable foundation at MTE is called Sharing Change, and it's funded by members who round up their electric bills to the nearest dollar each month as a donation, and it supports hundreds of nonprofits. Actually, over $11 million and growing. Find out more at sharingchange.org. Rutherford County Emergency Medical Services is highlighted today in our conversation. Brent Carter is joining us here this morning to talk about things all EMS. Good morning, sir.
We'll talk about highlights, No, we're good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good to have you.
Y'all been busy?
Yeah, I think you all have too, haven't you?
Oh, man, we are setting records. It's just been crazy. 5 days ago, one 24-hour shift did 171 calls, 911 calls.
That's crazy. Is that an all-time record for a
day? That is an all-time record. We're averaging plus or minus 120 usually throughout, but to go 51 more calls in the same shift, it just, that's an all-time high.
Any particular reason, or is it just
a little bit of everything?
Yeah.
The heat, it just shortness of breath. It's crazy.
I guess just the number of
population
people.
is coming into Rutherford County.
Yeah.
We got 18 trucks on the road right now, 3 supervisor vehicles, so we're staying on top of it, but that shift, they got their handed to them, it was just that bad.
Is there any particular time of the day that's busier than others, or is it
24 hours?
Really?
Yeah. So that averaged, 9.5 calls per truck. And that includes Eagles and, usually our slower.
Mm-hmm.
They'll run 3 or 4 calls usually, but everybody was busy. It was crazy.
So considering those are the slower trucks, will they usually have fewer calls that they go on, and maybe some others instead of having an average of 9?
We did an average of like a 9.5. The in-city trucks probably run.
They're going to be in double digits
anywhere,
probably, right?
Yeah, they're in double digits.
Yeah. 15
to 20 easy.
Wow.
Themselves, because they got a short turnaround. They're at the hospital already, so they can do a quick turnaround and get back available. So.
And these are 24-hour shifts, right?
These are 24-hour shifts.
So,
yes, sir.
I've always wondered, that has to be hard,
It's a little tough. You get used to it, honestly.
Really?
Now that we're on that 24/72s, so they get 3 days off after that 24-hour shift, where when I was on the trucks, it was 24 and 48. So if you got busy on your 24-hour shift, you spent half the day catching up on your sleep, and your food intake and all that kind of stuff. So
and then
you only had like a day off, and then here you go, or a day and a half off, and then here you go again.
Yeah.
But now that they're doing the 3 days off, they're getting a little more rest. They're staying in better moods. So their patient care is a whole lot better than us grumpy old men that, didn't get enough sleep.
So do you, so it's 24-hour shift and then 72 hours. So, but that doesn't keep you on the same day all the time either.
No, but you can count them out on a calendar. If you work on a Monday, so you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're not going to work again until Friday. So, and then it just changes every week. It's just every 4th day you're going to work.
And that includes the weekends in there?
It doesn't matter if it's weekends, holidays, none of it.
Yeah.
Rainy days, snowy days, hot days, cold days, doesn't matter. Every 4th day you're going to come in here and get on a truck.
Yeah.
Unless you take some vacation time.
Sure, I understand. And do a lot of these folks work together? I know that there's more than one person on a truck.
Yeah, there's 2 on every ambulance. So, with 18, that's 36 people on a shift there, plus 3 supervisors. So there's about 39 people on each shift. And they bid once a year for their station. Sometimes they bid for partners, and then whatever stations is open when they're up to bid, then they'll bid into that station if they want to just keep their same partners. But once a year they rebid. So if somebody wants to get out of the busier stations and some of the slower, stations are available when it's time for them to bid, then, if you're the newbie on the truck, then guess where you're headed.
You're going to get whatever's left over, right?
Yeah, you're going to get the bottom of that drain,
So, so you get to work for the most part with the same person.
Yes, sir.
Frequently, which
Yes,
is
sir. Well, yeah. I mean,
helps you
for a
build
year
teamwork.
at least,
Yeah.
you're going to work with that same person that you either pick or they picked you.
Mm-hmm.
Paramedics get all first pick choices first, and then EMTs get to fall in behind and either fill holes or jump in with that one person.
Yeah.
And, so it's a big process, but it keeps everybody, at least most people, that they want to work with somebody they can work with.
Mm-hmm.
And what shift you want to be on.
Sure. 2 on every truck, right? You
Yes,
said?
sir.
So, does the same person always drive, or do they swap that
they
out?
usually rotate. It just depends on the call. If it's most of our trucks, we've got a few trucks that are double paramedic trucks, so they'll rotate a call. Who drives, who rides in the back, who drives, who rides in the back. They just rotate it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a paramedic and an EMT, it just depends on the call. If it's an ALS call, paramedic's going to ride with it every time. And if it's falls into an EMT's standard of care, then they can ride with it.
Now, what is an ALS call?
Cardiac arrest, shortness of breath, you're going to give some meds.
Okay.
Things like that. More advanced skills
Gotcha.
need to be in the back of that truck with that patient.
Do a lot of the EMTs do they get that job and then they work toward being a paramedic?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
how that kind of
Most
works
of
too?
them all are, we just had, I don't even know the number now, but we just had a pretty good chunk pass all their paramedic schooling. So they'll be going into this next bid as a paramedic.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be down on the seniority list, but they're still going to be able to bid as a paramedic.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, most of them, they want to do more.
That's got to
Which
be
is
hard
cool.
to do, though, to be on a truck every 24/72 and then also go to school at the same time.
It was tough on a 24/48 when I went through it.
I bet.
Because you had to work out your rotations. You got to, you still got to ride other ambulance trucks. I was in Nashville, I was in Murray County, I was anywhere, riding Williamson County, riding my rides, Bedford County.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to do that rides, and then you also have to do your in-classroom stuff too. So a lot of these schools are kind of rotating to help you, and let you fall into it.
I guess. Well, they probably have to if they want to have people in those
they're
classes.
working with everybody. And everybody that's just got out of school is going to be some really good medics too. So
Brent Carter with Rutherford County EMS joining us today. So in Rutherford County, do we have all the paramedics that we have spots for, or is that
right now? And they're still interviewing too. Mm-hmm. So we're doing pretty good. Most all the shifts are completely full, but we're still, we've got some PRN people too that we can call on or put it out for them to be able to jump on when they need it.
I was just thinking, there's a teacher shortage. Is there a shortage of paramedics?
It's a nationwide shortage for
Really?
Paramedics. Yeah, not as much as EMTs because they're kind of getting into it. And with this, our transport trucks, our convalescent trucks that do, hospital to back to nursing homes and just little patient transports, we can hire a basic EMTs. So we kind of can see how their work is going. And then if they go to AEMT school, then they have an option to get on the 911 trucks.
Okay.
So we're going to take advanced EMTs, put them on the, and then they have that option to go on to be paramedics.
So the we call it convalescent.
Yes, or transport.
Transport. Okay, so is that part of the 18 trucks that we have, or is it a separate?
There's 6 extras of those.
Okay.
Yeah, and
and that's all they do.
That's all they do. Yep, and they'll take them from, maybe from Murfreesboro Hospital back to a nursing home in Woodbury. Or Bedford, or, they're busy.
Yeah.
They average about 400 calls a month.
And that's on top of the other
That's
trucks.
on top
too,
of the,
4,000
4,000, 911 calls we do a month.
Are those trucks scattered through the county, or are they kind of in
They
a
got
central?
one location where the old hospital used to be, over there on Burton Street, across the street from NHC.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they all start there. All the phone calls go into there. They've got, their separate supervisor that kind of works as a dispatcher too. So she lines them all out and gets them all rolling and keeps track of them.
And that's a schedule that can kind of be put down if, someone is going to need a transport sometime on Thursday.
Hospital calls them,
Yeah.
Doctor's office calls them, whatever it is. Yeah, she'll have it all scheduled out.
So they could be all over the county, honestly.
Oh, they could be all over, in and out of the county.
Yeah.
In and out of
transporting to.
just,
yeah. Now, those that maybe are emergency situations and they go to St. Thomas Rutherford and then maybe need to be transported to Nashville, are those?
We do most of the time.
Those are 911 trucks.
Yeah, most of the time we're using a 911 truck to take them because if it's an emergency transfer, those are all basic EMTs. They're going to need a paramedic on the back of it, or in the back with the patient. So a 911 truck will transport them to Nashville.
Yeah. As our population grows, so does traffic, and it just makes it that much harder to get around.
School.
Yeah.
When
guess
school
that's true.
comes back into play, I mean, how hard is it to get in and out of your house?
Very difficult.
Yeah. So traffic plays a big part in our response times.
And that Medical Center Parkway area, speaking of around the hospital, continues to grow too. I drove down that new Gateway Boulevard as well. That little cut through is going to help some just to get from one side to the other, but
open up some more lanes where we can get around when it is busy time.
Yeah.
People going to work, people getting off work. We don't know when we're going to get a call in that 24-hour period. It could be 2:00 in the morning, or it could be right at traffic time. When school starts, anything like that.
Yeah.
So it gets a little hectic. And with the the system that we have on the trucks, all the trucks are GPS. So when you call 911, you're going to get the closest truck to wherever that call comes. It doesn't matter if Eagle was just driving through to get gas. If they're closer to that call in Laverne or wherever they were, they're going to get that call.
And then if there's a call in Eagleville, the closest to Eagleville,
it would be be Rockville. We got that station in Rockville. So yeah, I mean they shuffle all around all day long.
I kind of think about it like you see the airplane tracker, and it's kind of like that.
It's
seeing all these
almost
little
exactly
dots.
like that. Yeah, because they can see, our dispatchers can see where every truck is, and then with the computer system and the GPS links to that computer system, so you call 911, boom, it just starts sending trucks. That are close.
There's no hiding.
There is no hiding at all.
Oh, it's pretty fascinating.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
but it works, and we're still holding about a 6-minute response time if you call 911 with or without traffic on whatever time of day.
Even in those days when you have 150 plus.
Yeah, exactly. We're still holding that average response time.
Well, I know it's great work, and it goes maybe unappreciated until you need it.
Until you need it. Nobody really knows what we do.
Yeah. Brent, thanks for stopping by. It's always fun to catch up with you, and thanks for everything that the guys and gals at EMS do. Keep us safe.
Thank you, sir, for letting us come on and brag about them.
Absolutely. Great folks. Rutherford County EMS joining us today, Brent Carter, and that's going to wrap up our program here for a Wednesday. Thanks for joining, and do keep in mind that it's going to be very hot today, so be sure to hydrate if you're out there, and stay cool, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings